Welcome to Software Requirements Engineering. Hopefully by now you've already gone through and you've watched the introduction video. That there's a expectations there. You meet who I am, a little bit about me, I talk a little bit about my background, and then kind of what I expect for you from this course, what we're going to be doing in live chats, how that's going to be structured, how we're going to be grading discussion boards and late grading and all that sort of great stuff. So go and watch that. You have to stop now, finish this video, go watch that one before you go too much further. This one's just to set up basically the rest of the videos it's going to go on. One thing I want to do each week is talk about the assignments. These videos here, either pre-made like the ones in phase 1 and 5 will be, or the live chat ones that we'll see in 2, 3, and 4. One of the things I want to focus is on the work we got to get done each week. Everything I want to talk about should be tying into requirements, but also leading you to the work. And so it's, I think, pretty important for you to come at least watch the beginning and the end of the chats because that's when I'm most likely going to be talking about the work that's coming up. So for the discussion board this week, you have your introduction discussion board. Might even have that finished already. It's the standard who you are and what's going on. It's up to you. You can totally plagiarize the whole thing if you want to, because if somebody is written about you and you're going to steal their work, it's pretty cool somebody wrote about you. You should probably give them some props and help them out. But again, don't care about the originality score. You can reuse that one all you want to. The second discussion board, pretty straightforward. There's 3 questions out there for you to go off and answer. Um, just answer those questions. But remember, this isn't all just about research. It's not just bullet points of listing the things that is the answers out there. Tell a story. Give your thoughts of this. We want to try and get past the idea of remembering stuff into the idea of applying stuff. And the best way we can do that is challenge ourselves to write a little bit more about this, say a little bit more about this, and do what you can. So remember, you want to write plenty out there, both in the discussion board and the response. You want to write plenty in the response. Cite things as appropriate. If you have some stuff from a site or from a book or from a magazine or from an article, go off and do that and be on time. Remember at this point, discussion board work is the end of the week is the end of the discussion boards. You can't go back and reply to people and get points back and stuff anymore. It's really strict to be able to go off and do that. Now, as far as the individual project this week, we're getting set up for the rest of the course. We're going to be making requirements based off of, they give you 3 options out there: banking, defense contractor, airlines. Banking, most of us have bank account. That makes sense. And most of us probably have bought a plane ticket somewhere along the lines. Maybe not everybody. Defense contractors a little bit more nebulous. You'll have to get more specific there. But let me tell you, it's a fun gig. I was a defense contractor for GPS receivers, had a couple different applications there, and I also worked on an airplane project. So there's some really interesting stuff you can come out with. You just got to be a little bit more creative. But I want you to get more specific than that. Who are the users that you're talking to? Who is the users that you're trying to build the system for, and what features are you giving to them? So even if you're doing a banking application, are you building a mobile app? Or are you building a web app? Is it people inside the bank who are customer service agents, or is it people outside the bank that's going to go to for the first time? Not every project has to look the same. You do what you know. If you work at one of these places, build an app internally if you want to. And so finally, the way to really think about this is what screens are people seeing? It's possible you have some back-end flow, lockbox processing or something like that. But most likely you're talking about front-end work. And so think about the screens that's going on there. So for the project, we want to set the stage for what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks, capturing and eliciting requirements. So what's that elicitation process going to look like? That's what we're going to start with. So are you going to have meetings? Are you going to have interviews? You're going to have stuff we're going to talk about here in the upcoming sessions. What's that? What are you choosing to do? How are you going to do that? So what types of folks are doing the work? And the next thing is what skills are important for this? I mean, just can't take anybody and toss them out this. You have to have some sort of background. Experience is great too. And so we want to set up the template for the rest of the class. Now, I'm trying to help with that as much as I can. They kind of say go off and research a SRS, a software requirement specification. But what I want you to do beyond that is maybe go and start with my template. So this has been uploaded. You can see here it starts with some orange text. This is a bunch of, you put your title page in here. Some of you have really fancy, pretty title pages, so I don't want to dictate a boring old title page inside of here. Then we come down to each section. Now, I've restructured this a little bit to hopefully give you some focus. The stuff in phase 1 and phase 4 and 5, well, 5 ties into code. Phase 3, 4, doesn't necessarily all go into one cohesive document. We're going to be building a bunch of different documents through this. But what I want to start with is, again, phase one. This is the stuff you're filling in. You look for the orange text that says phase one. You're going to put the elicitation process. You're going to put the requirements gathering skills inside of there. It's all the questions that we just saw there, the questions you see in front. And then this continues on. So in phase one, I want you to review this template and see if there's any tweaks, some changes, some improvements based off the research you're going to do. When we get to phase two, there's a bunch of stuff to do. You got to fill in some text in the SRS. You got to write some requirements. That's all out there. Phase three, there's a couple parts. You're going to be doing some requirements, verification description, and then some test cases down below. Some of this stuff is taken straight from your assignment. Phase four, you're actually building a PowerPoint presentation. And then phase five, you're coming back and look at traceability and a few other things along those lines. But this document is set up, oh, there's an appendix back here too, phase five, to fill out. So this document is set up to help you structure that, to help remind you each week what should be turned in. You're welcome to come up with your own template if you really want to, but this template hopefully will help you quite a bit. This will be uploaded there in the learning document, so go and check that out. So beyond that, continue through these recordings. There's a couple different modules for you to go off and look at. You can look at them almost in any order you want to, but there's an order that's out there that's kind of implied. But use these to pace yourself. Use these to, pause, record, watch one, watch both, watch all of them. Normally what would happen is I would have 2 hours of chats and blow through all this stuff and get it there. This new format lets me be a little bit more interactive in the discussion board, a little bit more interactive in working on some of the other stuff. That's the idea behind the restructuring of the courses. And we're still going to have all the materials. I'm not taking any materials out from what you would get. You still get everything that would be in the old format, just delivered a little bit easier to give it a little bit more time as we're doing more interactive stuff. So if you have questions, email me. As you're watching through these videos, I mean, most students realistically don't really interrupt with questions anyway. It's tough to think and remember and take notes and come up with good questions all at once. So watching the recording and emailing me a question is perfectly valid. It's actually a really smart way to do it. It allows you to pause and think and consider and type your question up, maybe watch a little bit more. If your question wasn't answered, hit the send button, that sort of thing. So use this as a tool to really learn this stuff better, and then give me feedback as it goes. So again, some more videos to watch, keep going, but new day, new materials. Hope this class goes well for you.